In this video, I have a quadratic equation that I'm going to solve using the box method. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create a box over here on the right side. And in the top left-hand corner, I'm going to put my ax squared term. And that is x squared. In my bottom right-hand corner, I'm going to put my 45, which is my constant, or my c. And if you're wondering what the ax squared term and the c term is referring to, those are these terms right here. And this is the standard form of a quadratic equation. So every time you have an ax squared term, you put it in the top left-hand corner. And when you have your c term, you put it in the bottom right-hand corner. The next step you're going to do is multiply these two terms together. And I put that down here. So that's going to be a 45x squared. And now I have to think of two factors of 45x squared that also add up to be negative 14x. Now I like to use a factoring table here that I've set up. So I'm going to write out all my factors of 45x squared here. I'm going to start off with just that 1x times 45x. Then 2 is not a factor of 45, but 3 is, so I have 3x times a 15x. What else? 4? No, that's not going to be a factor of 45. 5 will be a factor of 45x squared, so 5x times a 9x will be that. Now, remember that I need these two terms here to also add up to be a negative 14x here. So I'm going to have to make both of these terms negative because a negative times a negative gives me a positive, but then a negative plus another negative will give me this negative number that I'm looking for. So a negative x plus a negative 45x is going to be negative 46x, which is not the number I'm looking for. This has to be a negative and a negative. This has to be a negative and a negative. So now negative 3 plus a negative 15x, that's going to be negative 18x. A negative 5x plus a negative 9x is going to be a negative 14x, and that is the pair of terms that I'm looking for. Negative 5x plus a negative 9x will be the negative 14x that I'm looking for right here. So I can plug these two terms into my remaining boxes. And now I want to factor out the greatest common factor between these two terms. So the number that divides into both negative 9x and 45 is going to be a negative 9, and we always use the sign of the term that is closer to this number on the outside. The greatest common factor between these two terms is going to be just an x. The greatest common factor between these two terms is again just an x. And the GCF between these two terms is going to be a negative 5. Remember, I always use this sign of the term that's closest to the outside. So then I have my factors. One binomial is going to be x minus 5. And then the other binomial is here, which is x minus 9. Then I have to set each binomial equal to 0 and solve. So I'm going to add 5 to this and add 5 to that. I'm left with x equaling 5, and that's going to be one answer. Then I could also add 9 over here and add 9 again. Those cancel out. And I'm left with x equaling 9 is my other answer.